Market research is essential no matter what business you're going into, and property is no different. However, I've developed a two-step system. It's a simple framework that's going to fast track this journey for you so that you can just crack on and start sourcing deals. I see a lot of people over-procrastinating on this, and I hate to break it to you, but as much research as we do, you won't know until you've done it. We can just make a calculated judgment. That's what I'm going to help you do on this video. As on all the other videos, any questions, ask the experts in the Creative Cash Flow Plus community, and I'd love to help. So, tip number one, stay close to home. Rent to rent is a business where you want to be in the area. I can't stress this enough. Not just for the maintenance and the management, but also for the sourcing. It's great just to being able to nip down the road to view a property. I remember when I first started and I selected around 10 key roads, and I used to drive through them on the way to the gym every day and on the way back. And that compounded over 6 months meant I was bumping into landlords. I was seeing which properties were empty, which were available to let. When a tenant was moving boxes out of a property and I was able to speak with them and get their landlord's details. Like, it's so important to be close at the beginning, I promise you. And you can expand further once you get better. But first things first, try and stay close to home. The second thing to understand is that you're in the right business, right? Property is a core need. Food, water, shelter, non-negotiables. So you will be surprised how big the demand is going to be. Okay, so number one, stay close to home. Number two, do not underestimate the demand. I promise you the demand is going to be way greater than you could imagine, even in smaller areas. So with those two things being said, now let's jump into the framework. All I care about when I'm looking at an area is there enough stock? Is there enough properties for me to take on, manage, and is there enough demand to fill those properties? And there's a simple way to work out both. Okay, so step one, you go on Rightmove, search for properties available to let in your area, and you want to see more than 10. You know, if there's like 4 or 5 properties and you're struggling to see properties above a 2-bed size, that area is probably going to be too small. If I see 25, 50, 100, 200, you're onto a winner. There's massive, massive ability to scale in that market. Now, if there is only 10 properties and all you want to do is replace your income of 1,500 quid, that could be enough. But if you want to create some £1 million rent to rent business, you're going to need a bigger market. So you're either going to need to find somewhere else close to home, but further, or you're going to need to do 1 or 2 deals here. And when the demand ceases, you will then move on, okay? Simple as that. So once you've assessed their stock, we just want to know if we can fill it. That's all. And I've developed 8 key considerations that we're looking for. And what you want is at least 2 out of the 8. If you've got 8, you're onto a winner. What are you waiting for? If you've got 1, could be tricky. If you've got 4, you're good to go. I've taken on properties that have got 2 and we've absolutely smashed it if they are the right 2. So let's go through my 8 key considerations. Number 1, hospitals. You've got all these doctors and nurses and hospital staff needing accommodation, but then you've also got family members coming to visit sick loved ones that need short-term accommodation as well. So massive demand for hospitals. Number 2, a major big city. And I define a big city probably by, over 100,000 people. If the city's got over 100,000 people, tick 1, you've got that. If it's one of the major cities, you are laughing, okay? If you're in a place with 10,000 people, then obviously you can't tick this one. Number 3, we're looking for large business and employers. So what I would do if I were you is I would go on Google and I would search the biggest employers in my area. And what I'm looking for is which companies employ the most people. So in my area, I've got a Rolls-Royce, employs thousands of people. And you can start to assess, wow, I've got a big Amazon, or I've got, a big M&S, or I've got a big Experian, or I've got a big Boots. It's like all these things will create jobs, and it will therefore create accommodation. Number 4 is major transport links. So I'm talking major train stations, bus stations, and airports are a big one. In fact, I had properties near an airport that only really had one of these, but they had an amazing airport, and we did smash it, especially on the HMO side. Top hack here. A lot of people think SA is good near airports, and it can be, but it can also not be that good because you get a lot of one-night stays in terms of the tourism leisure. So when I had properties near airports, I was actually looking for more construction corporate people that were working on the airport for a few months rather than people that were going on their jollies. Number 5, new developments and construction. When I see big construction sites, developments, buildings, skyscrapers, or anything like that going up, especially even little things like Audis and Lidls, when I see them going up, I'm like, okay, these people have done the research. I can leverage off that. There's going to be demand for accommodation. Number 6 is tourism attractions. So I'm talking about if you're near the beach, if it's a big sports ground, if you're near a big theme park, these are all reasons why people might want to stay over, particularly on a service accommodation basis, as they go to these attractions. So in terms of SA, I do look for tourism and leisure sites, things that are going to attract people into the area for a short-term basis, but also in turn provide jobs, which can be great for HMO. Number 7, universities. So I actually have quite a lot of rent to student HMOs. So being near a university is great because you can have student HMOs, but you also on the short-term level get parents and family members coming to stay for the weekend to visit little Johnny or Jane. Do you know what I mean? So it can be really, really cool to be near a university. Normally universities are in big cities, so you're probably going to have both of those. And number 8, short-term accommodation. Yes, if there are hotels in your area, the chances are there's big demand, especially if these hotel brands are the big ones. They've spent millions of pounds on research and development so that you don't have to. So get properties close to them. Go for 2-bed plus so you're not competing. Price yourself effectively and you can absolutely smash it. So I hope you found this video useful. Get yourself on Rightmove, okay? Find out if there's enough stock. Find out what key considerations you've got. Go on Rightmove, look on the map view. See, if you've got more than 2 of these, you're good to go. If you've got 6 or 8, you are laughing. Hope you find this useful. I'll see you in the next video.